And first of all, welcome everyone to the session. I'm Denise Meyerson from MCI, and I'm really excited to be able to share with you some of our ideas around ChatGPT and just how we see it in the world and how it fits in with learning and development as well, where we see it as this combination of human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So I'll start the session by doing an acknowledgement to country. MCI acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their continuing connection to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to them and their cultures and to their elders past, present, and emerging. We're coming to you today from Gadigal land. So a very big welcome, and I can see a sort of mixed response in the chat that some people have used it, some people haven't. So keep letting me know sort of where your level of experience is. I wouldn't give myself a 10, that I can absolutely tell you, but I'd say I'm around a 5 or 6 in terms of usage and definitely learning more as I go along. What we're going to be covering today is just taking a bit of a step back and just seeing, what is it? Why do we think it's transforming the world? How do you get started? So I can see that there's some people who've tried it a few times, some giving themselves different rankings. But we'll go back into the basics. Just how do you get started? How do you get writing really good prompts? Because that's one of the secrets of ChatGPT, and how we could use it in L&D to make our lives easier, to do things more efficiently and effectively. And a lot of people, thank you for your comments there. I will stay on the line as well afterwards, but you're also very welcome to write into chat. If there are questions that I miss, apologies, please remind me again at the end and I will address them. So the first thing that I want to say and that I want to point out to you is that ChatGPT and artificial intelligence as a whole is not what they used to call mega trends. They're now calling this a giga trend because of the impact that it is having worldwide. So that's the extent to which the impact is. And if you consider what is artificial intelligence, again, just zooming out a little bit and looking at the big picture here, it's when machines like computers are programmed to think like humans and mimic and imitate their actions. So just that little definition, I think, gives you a sense of how enormous this is and also potentially how scary it could be. And there's certainly a lot of media and information out there as well. Will we as humans be replaced by computers? And you can see where that comes from. But we've been using artificial intelligence in many ways, over the past few years, in fact. They call this narrow AI, but it's things like with my phone, when we turn on our phone, it's doing the facial recognition. There could be times where you, for example, searching for holidays in Bali, and then you can't understand why all these adverts are popping up everywhere with adverts in Bali. And it's because the internet is starting to learn what you are searching for and starting to take cues from your online behavior and serve you up things that you could be interested in. Some of you are using Siri, Alexa. You could be calling call centers and the chat bots take over and listen and answer your questions. You could find, for example, in Google, it categorizes your emails already for you. That's all based on artificial intelligence, as is Netflix and Amazon, who are saying recommended for you. And you think, how do they know that I would like that movie or that book? It's been learning how your behavior is online and what you enjoy watching, what you like, and what you keep purchasing. So machine learning is a subset of this content, of this artificial intelligence, and it's where the computer is starting to learn by itself. Well, humans learn from experience, but the machine, the computer, is starting to learn from so much data that it is being fed. And it's obviously going to learn more and get better every time. I do have to confess here that I asked ChatGPT to please give me a simple way of explaining machine learning. And this is what it came up with. If I wanted to, I could have asked it's DALL-E, which is another one of these engines that helps find you images to match the text. And it compared it and used it as a metaphor for how children learn about cats. How do you teach a child what a cat is? The big cats, fat cats, small cats, black and white cats, all kinds of cats. But the child starts to recognize cats, even if they don't see every single possible cat that exists on the planet, because obviously no two cats are alike. And in the same way, there are, without doubt, this enormous amount of data that is being fed to the computer through these algorithms, and it's learning these patterns and these features of different cats, as in the same way that a child would do. And I just saw a quick comment there about doing this safely. And there is a lot of questions, I would say, that have to be asked and answered when it comes around setting up guardrails around ethical use. And I will come to that. But even if you think of Netflix and Amazon and the books, it's learning your patterns, it's learning from this data to be able to give you what you would like or what you think would suit you. So ChatGPT then fits into that big picture as what they call an AI language model that has been trained and taught to respond to us humans. Yes, we do still exist, and us humans want this machine to help us be more effective, do things more efficiently within ethical guidelines as well. But it is being trained without question to be able to find these patterns and give us answers that would be useful. And thank you, someone has given us the name of the platform where you are able to find images. And there is another one called Mid Journey as well. Some are paid, some are unpaid. Thank you, everyone, for all the chat there. Just to note, though, that this is one of the most fast growing releases of any piece of technology that we've seen since, I don't know, since forever. I don't have my exact years sorted out there. But without doubt, we are seeing phenomenal growth. In January, there were already 100,000 users. I mean, that's unbelievable when you think how long it took Instagram or Facebook or any of these other mechanisms to get to 100,000. It was years. And here suddenly we have it immediately almost. And I don't even know the new statistics of, if somebody even knows the new statistics of ChatGPT users, it must change by thousands and thousands daily. And as was said earlier in the chat, I do have to point out again that AI makes people nervous. We don't know where this is all going to go. It is unknown. And people do have that, it's change, it's an enormous change. And you can't blame anyone for feeling this kind of fear. We even had Sam Altman, who is there we go, currently has 100 million users, thank you. And Sam Altman, who's the founder, one of the founders of OpenAI ChatGPT, went into American Congress and he admitted, he said, yes, I know that this does need some restraints around it. It needs policies. It needs somebody to tell us, because it can be used for evil. It can have a lot of bias because the data that it's scraping off the internet might not be ethical. It could have bad purposes. So we do have to take that into account without doubt. But on the other hand, and thank you everybody for giving us a lot of that data that's current. Without doubt, ChatGPT does give each one of us the ability to be like Einstein. It can already pass medical exams. It's already doing better in legal exams than lawyers themselves. Professors, even us in vocational training, we don't know what is plagiarism now. I don't know if it's the students' work, not the students' work, and no one can detect it for me. There is no mechanism in the world that can detect whether a student assignment is written by ChatGPT or not. Yes, a teacher might pick up that, it doesn't sound genuine or what that student would normally write, but there's no proof of it. So there's so much transformation that's going to happen when we think that eventually 1 billion people and more are going to have access. And you saw some of the figures and the statistics, thank you, in the chat. It's huge. We see it as a way of enhancing productivity. That is how I prefer to see it. And in L&D, yes, I think that we do have the ability to harness this chat GPT and use it for our benefit. Because there is no way that we can uninvent what has been invented. If you think back into I think it's like the 16th century or somewhere around there when they invented the printing press, if anyone can remember, if anyone knows that date, we can ask Google that. We don't need to ask ChatGPT that one. And the scribes who used to write their Bibles so beautifully, all handwritten, do you think they were so keen to see the printing press? They weren't. They said, huh, who's going to want to buy a Bible that's printed off the printing press? People will only want our beautifully scribed Bible. And well, you know where that all ended and how we can even see the Bible on our phone now. So we do have to take into account that now ChatGPT is here. It's not going anywhere. Can we use it to our advantage? To me, it's like having our own personal assistant. I have to say, has any of you here in L&D or whatever roles you are in ever been granted a PA? Well, I haven't. In my 30-something year career, and I'm sure you can see all the gray hairs, never had such a luxury. But now, ha ha ha, think of all the tasks you can ask of ChatGPT, meet your new personal assistant. So if anyone would like to type into chat, particularly for those of you who've tried it before, what sort of things have you asked ChatGPT to do for you? Remember, it is now available. There is the free version, there is the paid version, but what would you like ChatGPT or have already asked ChatGPT to do for you? I'll give you some examples of what I've been doing, but please keep typing into chat and let us know what you've been doing. Survey questions, cover letter, holiday induction overview, all of those. Planning a holiday, absolutely. School essay, totally. Yeah, papers, articles, testing scripts, love it. Templates, totally. What great examples. Rewriting emails, wedding speeches, using it for research, budget meals. It does all of that for you. A poem, it's very good at poetry, I have to say. Praise it for that. And between everything that you've seen in the chat and everything that I've put up on my screen, it really is quite an endless list because ChatGPT does have the power to do that. Somebody's still wishing that it could do lotto predictions. You never know. It can also write code. It can also, in fact, do things for you like start off research. But you do have to remember that it is not 100% accurate, and I will come on to some of the tips and the guidelines for working with ChatGPT. So we're coming now to, just for those of you who haven't used ChatGPT before, that is the web address. So that's where you log in. And as I said, there is at the moment the free version. I don't know how long they're going to keep it free, but anyway, it's free at the moment. Or there is a paid version, which is about Australian dollars 30 per month. And very naughty me, I am on that version. Don't tell anyone in the business. So that is the version I'm on. And one of the reasons that I'm on that particular version is because they keep releasing updates. In fact, today, I just saw an update, which is quite amazing because it is able now to go into live websites. There are also additional, like how we had things in the App Store. So now we're able to go into the App Store as well. So if you will just hold 1 second, I'm going to now share my screen and I am going to go live into ChatGPT. So let's just give that a second to load up, and I'm hoping that everyone can see that. I just want to refresh it before I go typing along and just make sure that I'm in. So I am in ChatGPT 4 because I'm on the paid version, and you can see now the new things that are becoming available, that you're able to now use the internet live. And there are so many new plugins. I feel like I'm the ambassador of ChatGPT. All right, let's ask ChatGPT to do some stuff for us. And I think somebody mentioned induction there. So maybe we're going to say, and I'm always very polite to ChatGPT. So I always ask it, please, ChatGPT, I am an HR manager and I need to design a new induction program. Okay, how's that for something that everyone can relate to? We need to give it more detail. There will be, let's call it 20 new, golly, this is in my way here. There will be 20 new entrants into the business, and we want to welcome them. So I've got to give ChatGPT some detail. You can't expect it to know just what to write. We want to welcome them and let them know that that there is a lot to learn, and they can approach us at any time. Give me an outline of the program. Okay, it will be delivered online. Okay, let me get my spelling right. Okay. Oh, this is my favorite part, and I wish that I could see people's faces who haven't seen ChatGPT before. But anyway, let's go. Let's see what ChatGPT is going to tell us. Okay, it's telling us what to do on day one, do a video, give them a virtual tour of the office like that, understand org structure, roles, give them some policies, procedures on day three, job specific, training, do a culture day, okay, set outlines, okay, fabulous. Okay, I'm quite happy with that, but what I'm going to give ChatGPT a little bit of feedback on is I'm going to say, sorry, Chat, um, I never said that this can only be 3 days. 3 days, can you please condense for me? And let's see if it does that as well. Don't know if I spelled condense correctly. Okay, and here we go. So it's now redoing it. I've given it a bit of feedback and it's redoing it for me in accordance with some of what feedback I've given. And I could keep going. I could say I don't like on day three that there's team building. What else do you suggest? So I can keep giving it more information and it will keep adjusting for me. Did that make sense for everyone to see it in action? I wish I could see some faces here going, wow, yeah. I think that it's without doubt quite exciting. I hope that people got the very nice. I think we could have a bit more than very nice from that, please. To me, it's like when you see it the first time, if people who have used it before see it the first time, and remember their reaction when they just saw all of this happening on their screen. Thank you, amazing, incredible. That's what I get. Your ambassador is going. So following from that, I could then ask ChatGPT to write me a welcome email for the new inductees. I could ask it to do me a social media post. I could keep asking it to refine. I could teach ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, this is the style of email that I usually write. Can you do something like that? So it sounds like it's more authentically me. I could give it past programs that I've written and say, can you update or refresh this, please? So there's so much that you can do. And look how quick it was. I don't like every single thing that it suggested to me, but I'll copy and paste it and then I'll start massaging it, working with it, and trying to make it more authentic to me as well. Um, how did it give me the program? It's learned from so many other induction programs that it's been able to scrape on the internet, that it was able to serve up what I had asked for, which is where the magic really happens. And it's in the prompts. And I'm sure you're going to see, and already seeing, lots of providers offering you bundles of different prompts that you can write, that they've worked out that, gee whiz, when ChatGPT knows this, it's going to be able to write me even better things. It does store what it has written for you. It does store it, but I like to copy and paste it out and then start making my changes so that it's authentically me, particularly if it's an email or a report or a proposal, and also to make the changes because I'm not going to like 100%. Sometimes I do like 100%, but sometimes I need the changes and I take it out of there and I want to use it. But the prompts are important. I have got a friend who runs a jewelry store, and for those of you here who know different diamond jewelry, there's a tennis bracelet, which is a bracelet all made of diamonds. So she wanted to use ChatGPT, and she said, you know, ChatGPT, please write me an article about a tennis bracelet. So ChatGPT doesn't know what's a tennis bracelet. So it wrote an article about a bracelet at the tennis court. You've got to be specific. You've got to make sure that ChatGPT knows what you want and can come a lot closer to delivering to you what you want to read and what is going to be useful for you. You've got to give it the key messages. You've got to give it, you know, who's going to be reading, how many people, what their ages are, what voice you want it in. As I say, you can train it to start thinking more like you. ChatGPT, I am training you how to write an article more in my voice, and I can then train it so that next time round it will do a lot better. Somebody said earlier, and I see that there are hands up and I will come to you, but somebody mentioned earlier about checking your facts, and you do need to do that. ChatGPT can what they call hallucinate. It's absolutely convinced that it's giving you correct information, but it's not correct. So for things like research, you do have to double check and make sure that your facts are correct. But, you know, teachers get things wrong too, so we do have to give it a little bit of forgiveness there. Generally, ChatGPT is in American English, but you can ask it to be Australian as well. I don't have time. I'm so busy typing. So, you know, when you do that, you can, without question, just do the modifications into Australian English. But as I also said previously, you have to make sure that it does sound like authentically you. You know, otherwise our ears are going to have to be, pricked up a little bit too, and we'll start seeing, like we saw when we used, some of the image adjustments in, what's that program that can adjust photos, Photoshop. And you started looking like nobody's that thin. Nobody's no wrinkles at that age. And we'll start identifying that this doesn't sound genuine. So we've got to make sure that it still sounds like it's from our voice. But for those of you who are new at it, it's a brave new world. It's almost science fiction happening in front of us. And there people are giving some good examples of how to be careful, because people are going to be writing their job descriptions and their job applications through this. And yes, we can't just regurgitate information. We still need the human intelligence part of it to make it sound and be more applicable. But this is the worst version of ChatGPT that there is. Remember when Facebook and all these platforms started, and now where they are. So it's going to continue improving. So it's not just going to regurgitate, it is going to get into live data from the internet. So it's going to keep improving. It's up to us to decide, do we want to get with this? Because I can assure you, your competitors are with it. It's not something that, that people are just going to leave there. It's been invented, it's out there. If it's useful, if it's making people more productive, yes. And I see people are giving it quite a few thumbs up. And yes, please look in the chat. People are giving warnings, and those warnings you need to heed them, because they are true. And I can't say just use this with abandon. We do have to be careful of it. But for the future of learning and development, where I'd really like you to have a look is at what the Khan Academy is doing with it through what they're calling Khan Migo. And to me, this is going to be the future of learning and development as well, because it's giving children these prompts and, like a coach, helping children to do their homework, their assignments, guiding them, moving them. And isn't, after all, what we've been looking for in L&D, our holy grail, is personalized learning. And here I'm going to have a coach for anybody who's thinking of investing in an old style LMS. No, 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 because I'm going to have a coach. And I reckon this is going to happen by the end of this year, helping and guiding me and giving me the learning content that I need to be more effective in my job. And we'll send you that link so that you can have a look. And if you've got kids, we've just saved you a lot of homework hours, because you've got the Khan Migo guiding you. It's been built on top of ChatGPT, and we're going to see many other platforms being built on top of ChatGPT as well. With Khan Migo, it's built in the guardrail so that it is safe for children, which is quite incredible. So, comments, questions. I can see that there's a whole lot of questions here for me. Let me go in more into the questions. The difference between the free and the cost version, I just find the cost one faster, and it's also getting the beta releases of new things. Like I just found today that it can go into websites, which I didn't know. So that's why I'm using it, and it's also because I use it a lot. There isn't a day, I can safely say, that I don't use ChatGPT. How do you ask it to review things for you? Yeah, you can ask it straight in the prompt. You can say, ChatGPT, please can you review this, copy and paste it into the box. Absolutely. And you can then copy and paste it out and do your own human review of it as well. Paid version is so far 30 Australian dollars or so. It just depends on the exchange rate per month. And that's where I see it as being quite useful. So I hope that that's given everyone a little bit of insight, a little bit of excitement to get started. We're not experts in it, but we're here to help and see what we can do to really give you a little bit of a booster and give you not so much terror and a little bit more encouragement to try out something different, which I do believe is going to be transformational in learning and development. So keep watching this space. I hope I didn't go too fast for everyone. So thanks so much. Loved having everyone online, and we will send you a copy of the recording, yes, and I don't mind sending a copy of the slides as well, Vanessa, if you'd like to just take a note of that, not a problem. So thank you to everyone. It's been really great connecting with you all, and please let us know how you go. We'd be keen to hear. I will stay online if anyone has any questions or anything else that I can assist you with. It's happy to wait a little bit and let you know. Slides, okay, slides, fabulous. Thanks so much to everyone. Wow, thanks for that comment, Jane. First adding machine. Wow. He was fast. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry that I didn't see all the messages. They were coming so fast. So thank you to everyone who shared such great insights and examples and some lovely stories there as well. And can me go? Okay. You can't go wrong. Thanks, guys. What a great one. That's a really good one. I'm just catching up on all the chats now. Okay, Samsung. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very good point. Don't put the company IP in there. No, no, no. Whatever you wouldn't put into Google, don't put into ChatGPT. Simple. I think that's we do need to use some common sense there. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye. Bye.